Welcome back to the Fair Game Podcast, where we explore discrimination in sports. I am your host Peter Potyok, and today we'll be talking about two serious issues, especially in recent times: homophobia and transphobia. In the United States, from January to March 2025, there were over 745 anti-trans bills introduced in state legislatures. Some people might hear that and assume it reflects a huge number of people, but no. Trans people make up around 1 to 2% of the US population, and the number of trans athletes? Even smaller. Trans people make up less than 0.002% of US college athletes. To put that into context, that's around 10 in 500,000. The Olympics are even worse. In March of 2026, the International Olympic Committee announced that transgender women and athletes with differences of sex development will be banned from the female category of events at the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics and future games going forward, stating that the move will protect fairness and safety. But when you look at the number of athletes affected, the policy begins to look less like a broad solution and more like a response to a very small group of people. Only a handful of openly trans athletes have competed at the Olympics in recent years. Laurel Hubbard at the 2020 Games in the weightlifting category, Quinn at the 2020 Olympics, winning a gold medal in the women's football category with Canada, becoming the first openly trans and non-binary gold medalist in Olympics history. They also competed at the 2024 Games. And finally, Nikki Hiltz at the 2024 Games, making the final of the women's 1500 meter race. New rules are being introduced to exclude a very small amount of people, while the impact on those athletes is enormous. Darts is another sport where this debate has become very visible. In 2026, the Darts Regulation Authority and the World Darts Federation introduced rules banning trans women from women's competitions. One of the athletes affected is Noelyn van Leuven, a Dutch darts player who has competed at the top level and has become one of the most recognizable trans athletes in the sport. She was forced to retire due to these changes.
I just got an email. Apparently, I just got retired. Not by choice, but because I'm no longer allowed to compete. The DRA just decided that trans women are no longer allowed in women's events, which basically means I'm out. I've worked so damn hard for years just to get here. I showed up, I competed, I respected the sport, every game, every single day. And now, with just one decision, I'm being told I don't belong anymore. This isn't just about me. This is another huge hit for the trans community, especially after recent decisions made by the IOC. Every day it's getting harder and harder for trans people just to exist, to compete. If you think this stops with me, it doesn't. We just want to be.
Supporters of these bans argue that they protect fairness, but for athletes like Van Leuven, the effect is exclusion. Once again, a very small group of people is being singled out, even though their presence in sport is tiny compared with the size of the debate around them. Homophobia in football has remained a major issue. In May of 2022, former Blackpool player Jake Daniels came out as gay at the age of 17, becoming the UK's first openly gay professional footballer since Justin Fashanu in 1990. His decision to come out was praised by then British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, FA President Prince William, and England captain Harry Kane. He cited Josh Cavallo as one of the people who helped him come out. Josh Cavallo is an Australian footballer who came out a few months earlier in October of 2021, at the time being the only openly gay footballer to play professional top-flight football, playing for Adelaide United. The team released a near 3-minute long video called Josh's Truth, in which Cavallo came out publicly. Have a listen.
I don't know, I don't know what else to say. Okay. Whew.
Hi everyone, it's Josh Cavallo here. I'm at my home here in Adelaide. There's something personal that I need to share with everyone. I'm a footballer and I'm gay. Growing up, I always felt the need to hide myself, because I was ashamed. And ashamed I'll never be able to do what I love and be gay. Hiding who I truly am to pursue a dream I always wished for as a kid. All I want to do is play football and be treated equally. I'm tired trying to perform at the best of your ability and to live this double life. It's exhausting. It's something that I don't want anyone to experience. I thought that people would think of me differently when they found out. They would start treating me differently. They would start saying bad things about me or making fun out of me. That's not the case. If anything, you will earn more respect from people. Coming out to my loved ones, my peers, my friends, my teammates, my coaches has been incredible. The response and support I have received is immense. It's starting to make me think that why have I been hiding this burden for so long? I want to inspire and show people that it's okay to be yourself and play football. It's okay to be gay and to play football. I want to show all the other people that are struggling and that are scared, whoever it may be, that don't act like someone you're not. Be yourself. You were meant to be yourself, not someone else. Through my coming out, I'm excited to open up, to show everyone the Josh Cavallo, to show the true Josh Cavallo. I'm Josh Cavallo, I'm a footballer, and I'm proud to be gay.
After the announcement, he was fully supported by Adelaide's management and players, and as the news was widely reported in the international press, Cavallo received messages of support from players of past and present, as well as fans and celebrities. However, on January 12, 2026, the now Stamford AFC player released a statement accusing Adelaide United of homophobia, alleging that he had to leave the club due to decisions made by the people in charge who blocked his opportunities, not because of his talent, but because of who he loves. The 26-year-old went on to claim that under new management, he wasn't allowed to play because of politics. He continued by saying, "It's hard to swallow when I realised my own club was homophobic. I was angry because people thought I was sidelined based on injuries, when in reality it was internal homophobia that kept me on the bench." Cavallo added that his attempt to improve in the game was ignored, which he said impacted his well-being as a professional footballer. He said the experience realised his fear about coming out publicly and led him to feel incredibly isolated. He also accused his former teammates of engaging in homophobic behaviour. He wrote, "In the one place I thought that was a safe space, and after seeing a group chat of teammates mocking a picture of me and my partner only added to this heartache." Cavallo then shared that his fresh start in the UK has enabled him to fall back in love with the sport. Another important player is Jakub Jankto, the Czech international footballer who came out as gay in 2023. His announcement was widely praised and helped show that LGBTQ+ players can succeed at the highest level while being open about who they are. Jankto's story matters because it challenges the idea that men's football has to be a hostile place for gay players. When the Czech player made his first appearance after coming out, he was applauded by the fans. It's a clip. But even with these powerful examples, visibility does not mean the problem is solved. Players like Jankto, Cavallo and Daniels show progress, but they also remind us why football still needs stronger protections, better education and more support for LGBTQ athletes. There are also positive signs of progress. Campaigns like Rainbow Laces and organisations like Kick It Out, who we've talked about before, continue to push towards inclusion and challenge discrimination in the sport. On the other hand, in the women's game, there is a much greater visibility, with at least 47 openly lesbian players in the Women's Super League, the highest level of women's football in the UK. And at the 2025 Women's Euros, England's 23-woman squad for the tournament included 6 openly lesbian players. That visibility matters because it shows younger players that they do not have to hide who they are. This is why these conversations matter. Sport likes to present itself as inclusive, but for many LGBTQ+ athletes, acceptance is still conditional. Representation is important, but it is not enough on its own. Real inclusion means protection, respect, and the freedom to compete without fear. Love is love, and trans rights are human rights. Don't forget that. If you enjoyed, be sure to follow. Thank you for listening.